Welcome to the Slack for Faculty training. I'm planning to talk for maybe 10 minutes and just do the basics of Slack, but you are welcome to unmute yourself or use the chat box. It's just me, so I'll try to monitor the chat box the best I can. So feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. So, not that I have to sell you on it, but the gist of Slack is that it can connect people everywhere so they can work together, learn deeper, develop projects, and solve problems. So a little bit about me, and if I'm qualified to lead this session, I'm the instructional design specialist for the School of Geographical Sciences and Urban Planning. My education background is on education tech with an emphasis on adult learners. I kind of regret that now that I'm homeschooling my 7-year-old and I have very little to no knowledge of K-12 learners. I've been a daily Slack user for at least a year, maybe more. I've personally set up 4 channels, including the 2 most recent, COVID research and online teaching for SGSIP. And I'm currently working with SGSIP faculty on 4 Slack courses. So there's students, anyone who's in the roster gets added to the Slack workspace, and they can set up, channels, groups, and they can do a discussion, do with the students and with the teachers. And more on that later. So I stole this slide from UTO. I learned this word from Ron Dorn yesterday. It's a lot of edubabblists, but just to briefly go over some of the values that Slack adds, obviously collaboration, obviously breaking down silos and working with others. Shared affinity is a great one because you can organize your discussions by teams, by subjects, by academic focuses, projects, passions, expertise. And then another good one is the modernization, because research is showing that people are relying on email less and they're favoring more collaborative tools. So we are in the tool of the future, future-focused workplace. And the reduction are all-encompassing applications. So we'll go over some of the productivity apps that make Slack an all-in-one tool. Enough about that. Here's a little visual representation of that all-encompassing application that I was talking about. It kind of takes all of these things, ability to send and receive messages, schedule or initiate meetings, poll people, and more into one application. This slide from UTO was created before coronavirus. The 5 ways of working with Slack: reducing time in meetings, getting feedback, finding answers, providing updates, and centralizing information. I would also like to add working remotely. That one is, there's no possible way I can go down the hall and say, hey, how are you? That one's over. So Slack really enables us to stay close even though we're remote. Here's some of those integrations I was talking about. There are literally thousands of them, but ASU has about 200 that are installed already. One of my favorites is using Zoom. So right within Slack, you can invite somebody to a meeting, a one-on-one meeting or a group meeting, using polls. Say, hey, quickly, how many of you are interested in a Slack training? I can gauge the interest, managing your projects, updating your calendar, and so on. And just so you know, all ASU faculty, staff, and students can access the Slack ASU community at asu.edu/Slack, which brings us to the 3 ways of accessing Slack. So I recommend picking one or doing a combination of your favorites. Let me see a chat. Yes, qualify for K-12 teacher after this. Yeah, I'm gonna get there. One of my favorite ways of accessing Slack isn't through the browser, although you can do it. It's through the desktop client. So if you go to this link, and I'll provide these links after too, you can download it. In fact, let's just show you how. I'll share my screen. All right, so the browser, if you just go to Slack, I think it's the same website. It's either asu.edu/Slack or enterprise.slack.com. Don't worry about it. But this is what it looks like from the browser. I'm going to go find the college, and I'm going to hit launch in Slack. And there it is. It's got everything I need. Hopefully you guys, yeah, you can see this. It's got everything that I can need right here. The only downside is that you have to remember to log in every day. Another way of accessing Slack is through the desktop client, and I mentioned that there's a place to download. This is what it looks like. So you can download for Mac, Windows, or Android. And then the last place to access is through your mobile phone. And it's worth, I use it daily, so it's worth sharing. If you don't mind, I'm going to share with you. So I'm also logged in through my mobile phone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And that's son in the background. This was when he was 4, so this was a 3-year-old picture. But if I open up my Slack icon, here it is. So I get to see all my workspaces. So let's just stick with the college for now. I get to see all my channels. So let's just take a look at SGSIP online teaching. I get to see all the threads in that channel. And then I can use it fully. I can react to items. Let's see. Give myself a thumbs up. I can add comments. I can start thread, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and there's also the direct messaging. So I can instantly connect to any 1 or 8 individuals right from the app. So that was the app I wanted to show you, and let's continue. Let's see, I can get there. Okay, and let me share my screen again. Okay, we're on our way. So just a little overview. We saw the 3 different ways of accessing it, but a workspace is a distinct scope for managing a group of users, apps, permissions. So like the college is a workspace. And channels are like a bucket or a container for the conversations. And you can choose whether they're public, private, shared, workspace specific. And then of course, just direct message anyone. And here's just another view of that, a little more complex. So you got your workspaces over here on the green. You've got your channels over here, your direct messages over here. So if you want to add a new channel, you just hit the plus button. If you want to add a new direct message, you hit the plus button. This info in the yellow here has information where you can get to the pins, the number of members. This search bar is handy for searching for things. You can also do Control and F to find things. And then the chat box here is where pretty much everything is done. This is where you can post, you can just direct message, you can open an app integration, and I'll demo that for you too. Okay, so as an instructor, this is what you might use it for. So you've got your ASU community space, so everybody. And then you've got your college space, so the college. And then if you are using it in your classes, you'll have all of your classes that are using it right here. And then you have your channels, your direct messages, so on. Okay, so we're going to talk about etiquette or behaviors. The biggest one is there's a difference between starting a conversation and continuing the conversation. And new Slack users or noobs often make this mistake where they'll just reply with a new post. And the downside of that is it gets very long. So the plus side of using threads is that it's organized by conversation. So it's, it's themed. I'll show you what that looks like too. A little bit more etiquette, search before posting in case the answer is already there. Yeah, this etiquette is more for, working with a class. But I understand that faculty might also just want to work with each other or work with their staff, their staff collaborators. So yeah, respond right away. And if you don't know the answer, just acknowledge the question. Using eyes is a common way of doing this. If you're going to be out in a meeting, on a vacation, you can let people know that. That might be a good way so that they don't bug you when you're unavailable, or to let them know why you're not responding right away. And again, when you're working with, fellow faculty on like COVID research or teaching online, there's no urgency. And then you can customize how you're notified. So when this COVID thing hit and we had to get everyone remotely, I had it on so that I had all of the new messages coming at me. So I was aware of them. But now that it's calmed down a little bit, everyone's teaching online, I've changed my notification so that it just notifies me when someone mentions me or sends me a direct message or sends the whole channel a message. So we use public channels. So the SGSIP COVID research channel is public, as well as the SGSIP teaching online. I didn't think there was a reason to lock it down. We can invite collaborators as long as they're in the college. Okay, I feel like I should show you it, but before I show you it, I just want to mention, remember how I said those integrations? Here's some of my favorites, actually. Okay, yeah, so keyboard shortcuts. Right within that chat box at the bottom, you can type control and then /. And it will show you this panel here that has all of the keyboard shortcuts. And this will be more handy once you use this tool. When you're a power user, it'll save time, it'll make it easier. Just a couple of my favorites is if you hit enter and your post goes and you went, oh no, I made a mistake. If you hit the up arrow, it'll go back into your post and you can fix it. Shift enter is a way of starting a new line without sending your message. The colon is a way to start to select an emoji. And then control F to search within a channel. Now you can join communities or shared affinities. Some of my favorite ones are remote working live parenting, which is me right now, dogs, cats, and other beasts. Sometimes I'll go on there and look at dogs because they make me happy. I've posted pictures of my dog and my guinea pig. Well, my son's guinea pig. And then this one, ASU Women in Tech. It's just kind of things that you're interested in. You can find communities and you can join them. If you do want to use a course workspace, you'll either request it in one of two ways. So when you go into the Canvas course request to request your workspace, your course workspace, like your Canvas shell, there's a little button at the bottom that says add a Slack. So that's the easiest way of doing it. But if you've already requested your course for fall or summer, and you want to turn on Slack, you can still do that, but you'll have to put in an LMS support request ticket. And I can help with that too if you need any help. I'm going to show you Slack because I think we're still good on time. Yeah, but I also wanted to share these resources. The Slack for Faculty guide that I made is here, and I'll link all these documents on the website. And then uto.asu.edu/Slack has like official Slack training for people who are more qualified than me, but less charming. No, I don't know actually. They might be very charming. So I wanted to share those resources for additional, experience with Slack. And then I'm going to open it up to conversation, questions, and I'll share what Slack can do.
Okay, so I have one question.
Yes,
Just
let's hear it.
watching your demo, I just feel I'm already overwhelmed.
Okay, maybe I went too,
No, not you overwhelming me. It's just all the stuff. It can be done. It could be there. But then how do you navigate? You have to choose the channels, choose different,
I
right?
see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so this is the
Perfect.
Slack desktop app. So I went to
Okay.
that website and I downloaded it.
Okay.
Then I pinned it to my start bar right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just keep it open all the time. I have it set to not notify me past 6 o'clock, so it won't bother me. And then these are my workspaces.
Okay.
So for you as a beginner, I've been using this for over a year. So I started with just one. So you'll start with just the ASU community.
Okay.
Then you'll add the college. So
Okay.
now you have two. Now I happen to have more because I have a family Slack channel.
Cool.
Slack workspace.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my son, my husband, and I. My daughter is too young. She's only 3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's just, we send each other guinea pig gifts.
That's so neat.
Yeah. So you won't have that. And then these two down here, these are course Slacks. So this one I believe is Megan Elnez's PUP 580 planning workshop.
Okay.
So her students will, use it. And this one here is Robin Martin's geographic research methods.
Okay.
So you don't have to use a course Slack. It's probably a good idea if you've got like a project-based class like these two. So her planning workshop works to do something, and this research methods class works to make a paper. So again, optional.
Mm-hmm.
So which one do you want to look at first? Do you want to look at the ASU community workspace or the college workspace?
Let's look at our department's one.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I don't want to be overwhelmed with all the class stuff. Maybe you can
we're
real
gonna look
example.
at the college. Yeah, we're gonna look at the college workspace, and there's 2 SGSIP channels here: COVID research and online teaching.
Okay. Oh, that's under college one.
Under the college workspace, yes.
Okay.
Now, if you want to join a workspace, what you'll do is you'll click on channels.
Okay.
And then just type SGSIP.
Okay.
And these are all the SGSIP channels. So I've got these 2 that I'm in, but they're locked. They're private just for staff. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
And then these 2, which are public. So you can join it by just clicking on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so now we're in, let's say we're in the college workspace, we're in the online teaching channel, and here's where I can post. I can say, welcome to teaching channel. Let me know if you need any help. All right, so here's where a post is. It's the beginning of an idea. And then a thread is when I hover over the message and then click on start a thread.
Okay.
So now over here, this thread window is where I can reply.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So now you can see there's a threaded conversation about, needing help with teaching online.
Yeah.
And then anyone can click over here on replies and then contribute to that conversation.
Okay.
Now, if I wanted to direct message you, would go down here to direct message, and I don't have you on here because we haven't.
No, I haven't joined yet. I will join the
Okay.
COVID-19 one for sure.
Okay, so let's see if I can find you. Is this you, the 08?
Yeah, it's actually WLI08. If we need to, just WLI.
This one?
Yeah, that's me.
Well, I'm going to send you a direct message. So here under my direct messages, I got all my friends.
Mhm.
And it says, this is the very beginning of your direct message history. So, hello. Thank you for coming to my talk.
Okay.
Now here's where I can get fun. I just hit the space bar. Now I'm going to hit the colon and then start typing.
Oh,
And I'm going to give you a little smiley cat and then hit enter.
cool.
So is there any like specific reason you want to use Slack? Is it for the research or the teaching?
For now, given I'm not teaching this term, I'm doing like what I need to do. So I'm interested in the COVID-19
Okay.
GSUP one. So
Okay.
after this, I'll try myself if I can get myself.
And let me make sure you're on this one. Should be alphabetical. Yes, you are on this one.
Oh yeah, you added me, right? Now I remember. That's why I know this. Yeah.
Yes, so you should be able to find it when you go to the browser or download
Okay.
the desktop, go to the college, and
Mhm.
it'll be in one of your channels here.
Okay, perfect.
And then you can start threads
Mm.
by hovering over the message and clicking thread.
Okay.
Or you can give it a reaction, like if this is something that you find helpful, you click on add reaction and give it a
Okay.
thumbs up or a smile or a
Oh.
check mark. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's very common. Let me show you. So this one's not very well used. For starters, it just, came into existence on Monday. But if you don't mind, I'm going to jump over to one that's very well used so you can kind of see what it will look like.
Mhm.
So this is a big one with 493 people. It's
Wow.
called Remote Resilience Learning.
Mhm.
And how it works is, let's just start with today. Someone will join, post something. People will react to it.
Mhm.
People can ask questions, like if students are having challenges accessing their textbooks. Ooh, that sentence was hard to get out. They can ask questions, and then an expert will come in and answer. Contact Chris Heinz at the bookstore.
Wow.
So yeah, you can share links, you can share images, you can share text. One thing that you can do is, are you a GIF or a GIF fan?
Sorry, which one? Right.
It's a GIF. I call it Giphy.
No.
No, you don't use GIFs?
know the basics, the very basic level.
But just in regular life, do you ever send GIFs through text or anything like that?
I said tags, but that's about it. And yeah, but
Okay. Well, just as a help, yeah, you can do Giphy. Dolphin is my favorite animal. And then
neat.
you cycle through until you find a good one.
Yeah. The dolphin one looks nice and the kitten one's cute. Oh, this one's cute.
And then you hit send and you just send a
Mhm.
GIF. Another
Oh.
thing you can do is /Zoom join me, and it will send
Mhm.
your Zoom meeting link in case you want to start a meeting with somebody.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I have other question. Now I remember why I even heard about Slack. It
Yeah.
was on my Outlook email, and there's a Slack icon, a Slack logo. That's why I first know that is Slack before anything else. So since you can also use your email platform and send this email to Slack. You can also do that, right?
I hadn't noticed that.
That's the only thing I know.
There is an Outlook integration in Slack, but even I don't use that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an app you can add, and it like lets you know what's coming up.
Mhm.
But yeah, there is an app you can add where you can share an email message
Mhm.
but I don't use it.
Okay, because you directly use Slack itself, right? You don't go back and forth between.
Right.
Between.
And the goal is actually to, instead of email first, you Slack first,
Mhm.
because it's easier. It's,
Okay.
you know, have you ever sent someone an email and then just waited forever?
Gosh, I learned a lot, but it's like I'm not sure if I'm on my own, if I can get anything meaningful done. But thank you again.
You're
Truly,
welcome.
you are the best.
Well, thank you for joining us, for joining me.
Yeah, joining you. It's so nice to be one-on-one, right?
Right, I get lonely here in my home office.
Private lesson, come on.
Right.
Right? Private lessons.
Thank you. And if you do have any questions, just shoot me an email or a Slack.
I will try to learn, try to practice when I have time, quote unquote. Thank you so much, Lucy. Have a good
Thank
day
you.
and enjoy your family channel. Enjoy your much fun stuff than
Thank
just
you.
work late.
I
That
appreciate that.
training, that better than training people like me who are tech dumb. Put it nicely, tech challenged, but I prefer to say tech dumb type.
I like that term, but I doubt it. And I will say this, if you just try it out, you can't break it. So.
Okay, yeah, can't break it. That's true. It's just like I can't make it work.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you again for the training and to spend time, all your help for all of us. Truly.
Anytime.
Okay, great. I'm leaving meeting. See you next time.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.